in my senior year was when Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated, and I happened to be student council president, and I just saw like what was happening all over the country. But one of the pieces of this story I like to say is without cell phones, without social media, there was a spontaneous walkout by all the black high schools, and we ended up downtown. So don't ask me how that happened without cell phones, but we did. And so it wasn't a stretch when Ferguson happened, and I got a call from St. Louis Public Radio asking for a comment, and the immediate thing that came in my head almost instantaneously was the Kerner report. And the Kerner report came in '68, talked about why all the cities were going up, talked about the inequalities, talked about the poverty, talked about police brutality, and here we are almost 50 years later, still haven't learned our lessons. So, I was glad that I didn't have to make up something. If somebody had already written, nailed it, and we ignored it then, and we're ignoring it now. So the continuum of struggle, whether it be for human rights, civil rights, women's rights, just continue to keep going. And so I'm honored to be a part of that. So the Organization for Black Struggle, we are a organization that organizes the community around issues that affect them. One of the groups that OBS helped to found is the Coalition Against Police Crimes and Repression. And we helped to bring local control back to the city of St. Louis after 150 years, so I'm definitely proud of that, because we also are trying to change the narrative about policing, that public safety doesn't equal more police, that public safety means addressing human needs issues. And so if we deal with, housing, education, mental health care and health care, some of the factors that we know are contributors to crime, then we won't need a whole bunch of police. And we don't need to be over-policed. We need like services and a vision for the future, public safety. And so we did community town halls all over the city. And once we started telling people, like, did you know like over nearly 60% of the city budget is going toward arrest and incarceration? Like, what? But we do want a city and a region that pays attention to racial equity, because the bottom line is we have not paid attention to it, and that is the underlying really yoke that keeps us from moving forward. That some people see voting as the end, like just get to the ballot and that's all you need to do. For us, it's part of a larger strategy of building power. So electoral politics is ugly and negative as people believe it is. It doesn't have to be that way. Now, if you drove around in this ward, you see that it looks like it's been hit with some kind of nuclear bomb. And so why do people have to live like that? When there's resources, you got an elected official, you got a state rep, you got a congressperson. So who's paying attention to the store? So because you as a active voter or potential voter are sitting in your house complaining, then you're giving them a free reign of doing nothing. So part of it is just keeping people engaged and agitating them around, getting involved. There's so many people here that a certain amount of apathy because they've seen stuff and they've seen stuff get pushed back or they've seen things get beat down, but that just means you got to come back harder and stronger, not that you just sit down and take it. So for me, that's the message that I would want to leave with young people, that our environment is screwed up, race relationships are screwed up, our educational system is screwed up, but those are all people-made problems. So that means we can do something about it.